Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this Rolex Certified Pre-Owned Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona. And we are going to discuss this Rolex Daytona. But before we do, I need to clarify that my company only sells two types of Rolex now, new and certified pre-owned. We don't have any generic used Rolex watch. The nice thing, though, about CPO is that it is Rolex backed, so you get a few assurances that don't come with every used Rolex watch. First, CPO includes Rolex authentication of the watch. Not just that it's a real Rolex, but that all of the parts are correct to the model. Now, taking a quick look at some of the other aspects, you get a Rolex Certified Pre-Owned box. The watch will also come with any of the original retail boxes, papers, and accessories if they are available, but you can get a new box and paper set no matter what. Rolex also adds authentic Rolex parts if any service is necessary, and Rolex certified service on a cosmetic and watchmaking level. Everything will be pure Rolex when the watch reaches your wrist. Continuing with the CPO set, it's kind of fun to see that you get this little travel pouch. It's leatherette on the outside, suede on the inside. It has a little button snap. It's great for traveling with your watch, or two watches if you have one on your wrist and one in the pouch. The warranty is Rolex backed, not retailer backed. So what you get is a 2-year globally valid Rolex warranty. So, for instance, if you buy your watch in Prague, but you need service in Montreal, all you do is present this card with the watch, and any Rolex point of sales or service will handle your warranty request. Again, this is not retailer backed. The name on the card is who backs the warranty. If you want more information, you also get this little warranty manual, terms and conditions, plus a leatherette wallet to carry it around, plus a little booklet that gives you abbreviated usage instructions, care and feeding, some notes about the CPO program, Rolex's values, the locations of the outlets in the service network, and then some info about Rolex.com and using the website. The final accessory you get is this handy dandy little hang tag, which is CPO specific and includes a hologram. So we have this Rolex Certified Pre-Owned watch, which is authenticated by Rolex and has all Rolex parts and watchmaking invested in it. What you see right here is an M series, so roughly 2008, and it is a white gold 116509. So we've got a black Tahitian mother of pearl dial with white gold hands, Rolex coronet, indices, and Roman numerals, including a watchmaker's 4. It is 40 millimeters in diameter, but it's not 40 the way a GMT or a previous generation sub would be. It's a little bit finer, thinner, it wears more compact. So 40 in diameter, 12.3 thick from lug tip to lug tip. If we are just measuring the case, it's going to be 47.7 lug to lug, though if we include the end links, the bracelet, it's a bit broader across the wrist, 51.9 millimeters with a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Let me note something about the gold Rolex uses here. This is what's known as gray gold in the industry. It's an 18 karat white gold alloy that never needs to be rhodium plated and is the same color white all the way through. In short, it's the good stuff. Now, we've reviewed the physical traits of the watch, but you got to see it on the wrist to fully understand the fit. My wrist is oval in profile, 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see the edges of the watch, the lugs. They come nowhere near the edge of my wrist, which is why I always say that the Daytona is a unisex option. It really is a watch that both men and women wear well, and I would say this could wear well on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. It's also flat, so it'll slip easily underneath a dress cuff. Let me just disabuse you of any illusion you may have, as the watch I've got right here is not a luminescent model. So what you see on the hands and the numerals and the indices is a little inlay designed to create higher contrast with the dial. It is not luminescence. Let's take a look at the Oyster bracelet. So the famed 3-link design, a little conforming end link to cleanly made it to the case, then it tapers down toward the clasp, polish, as well as satin finish. We have removable links fixed in place by screws, and because this is a M-series watch, it has the pre-2009 clasp design, so you can see this is a little bit different than what came later. It doesn't have the lift lock beacon hook and the articulated clasp body, but we do have the clamshell lock right here, and we do have the Easy Link system, which is what a lot of people want on a modern Rolex. The 5mm snap-in, snap-out tool-free adjustment. And then you can see that there are 3 pairs of divots inside the clasp, so you can dismount the spring bar and change the anchoring point of the bracelet in the clasp. So you've got a couple of different ways to fine-tune the fit. Taking a look at the case, a graceful combination of compound curves and tapered lugs. This is why I say it doesn't read quite the same as a 40mm Sea Dweller or Sub or GMT. It is a finer, more graceful design. Of course, we have screw-down crowns, including a triplock crown in gold. You know it's a triplock in gold because it has 3 dots, but the center one is larger than the other two. 100 meters water resistant. Yes, this is a watch suitable for surface swimming, in part due to the screw-downs and part due to the construction of the oyster case, including this oyster case back. The dial is flanked by a tachymeter scale, so the Daytona, long associated with motorsports activities, you get a bezel that is calibrated in units per hour, so you just do the mental math. It could be kilometers per hour, it could be miles. I like to use kilometers per hour, SI after all. It is the international system. So what happens is when the race car, starts the kilometer, you start the chronograph. When the race car finishes the kilometer, you stop the chronograph. So there you are, 300 kilometers per hour. That's over 180 miles an hour. So you can use it just like that. Of course, the watch also has a combination of a column wheel for super crisp chronograph feel and sound, snicking and snapping, but then it also has a vertical clutch for smooth engagements. There's no kick or jump or stagger to the chronograph seconds hand when you start it, so it's a very precise system. It also allows you to run the chrono full-time if you wish, because there's no additional wear and tear in a vertical clutch system. Of course, the movement is Rolex's manufacturer, automatic caliber 4130, 72-hour power reserve, bidirectional winding via a rotor on a ball bearing system. And you do have stop seconds here, so if you pull the crown out, you stop the running seconds, but you also stop the chronograph seconds. 4 Hz beat rate, 44 joules, COSC certified Swiss chronometer adjusted in 5 positions. It features a full balance bridge and a free sprung balance for shock resistance. The free sprung balance with micro Stella adjustment bolts, also allowing for very precise adjustment. There is an overcoil hairspring that allows the watch to operate with isochronous regularity or equal timekeeping in any orientation with respect to gravity. That is the advantage of an overcoil, and it is made of an anti-magnetic niobium zirconium alloy that allows the watch to be anti-shock, anti-mag, and water-resistant all at the same time. And of course, you've got that distinctive chronograph tandem of the column wheel with the vertical clutch. So, if you love this watch, reach out to Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase and pricing details. And before we go, let me give you one last close look. Black Tahitian mother of pearl is anything but black. It is simply a kaleidoscope of colors and depths and chatoyancy. A very special watch.